So I know everybody in the Brother has already done videos on this, but I want to give my 2 cents on some of this stuff. Keyword being some, I have tried recording this in the past, and honestly, a lot of what was talked about, I'm not really that qualified to discuss. So I'm just gonna stick to what I know, and yeah, hopefully this won't be stupid long. So obviously, first things first, you talk about the general job adjustment guidelines for Endwalker and building upon 5.0 and just Shadowbringers. I think it's pretty good. I think most jobs in Shadowbringers were pretty good. I know Bard was a sore point, even though it was just a basic evolution from Stormblood. I'm gonna put Bard's issues on existing, which we'll talk about later. I think they all work on the right direction. Summoner obviously fuck ton of issues, but as you know by now, it's not even the same class anymore. It got a machinist level rework, so yeah, just overall good idea here. Recast times of primary abilities, trying to align them every 60 or 120 seconds. That is amazing. That is really good. That is really good. There's some outliers, once again, Bard, that really didn't align hyper well. So some stuff still won't properly align fully, but it's going to be a lot closer, which is really good. And yeah, as you see down here, not everything's being adjusted. Tank wise, tank adjustments. Using defensive enhancements at optimal times to grant greater benefits. The example they used was using a defensive skill, getting hit, and then the action of getting hit right after activating it grants you and a couple of nearby party members a damage boost, stuff like that. I'm fine by that. People want things to be more engaging, have more to do. Add secondary effects to your defensive skills if you use them properly. There you go. Combos aren't being broken by range attacks. This is for, I think, all melee, not just tanks, also the DPS as well. And then, I don't know why they put this on every side, but basically, physical attacks are in the calculation adjusted. They're calculated a bit lower. So they're adjusting that. So melee potencies might be going down, or just physical in general might be going down. But at the same time, they're still going to be dealing pretty much the exact same damage. They're just changing the formulas up. Going over tanks though, I have actually leveled most of the tanks. I quit almost all the way through Paladin just because I got annoyed leveling tanks. Yeah. Anyways, record cast is going to be equally effective regardless of remaining MP. Thank you. If I remember correctly, I think it's if you're above 80% MP when you start using it, it's stronger. That's been removed, and Comfort Terror, which is your magic combo finisher, is now going to be a 3-attack combo. So, yeah, now you can combo your magic. Warrior, this is the one that actually I'm happy with. Damage up effects are now triggered by AoE combos. They were extended, but this was my issue with Warrior. This is why I think Warrior is worse than Paladin as a starting tank. Your AoE rotation, if you do not have your buffs up, starts with single target before you can go into AoE. Now you can just AoE, no issue. Holy crap, thank you guys. Also, Upheaval, no longer drain beast gauge. Okay. And in the release, change, I don't know if they talk about here. Yeah, they talk about here. It's going to be on a 60-second recast. It's only 3 times, so no more of those big 5s. But you can't technically now. Oh, wait, no. I keep thinking they gave it 2 charges. I'm thinking of Monk's Perfect Balance that got 2 charges. In the release, is only 1 charge every 60 seconds. But you do have a new finisher for it, so that's cool. Not Warrior. Dark Knight, same thing with Delirium. Salted Earth is no longer a targeted AoE. Great. Your little Shadow Buddy is going to get a new ability when you learn it later on in the game. Sweet. Gunbreaker. This is my main tank right here. Savage Claw and Wicked Talon will now swap in for Gnashing Fang on the hotbar. A lot of people are bitching about this. A lot of people are saying this is simplifying it. My answer to that is honestly, no. No. Just, no. No. It's not, it's a button condensation. If this was the 1-2-3 combo, yes, that would be simplifying, but it's not the basic 1-2-3 combo. 1-2-3 combo, there are very niche situations with combos where you might want to break the combo and restart. If halfway through the combo it's going to break, yeah, you're going to want to restart from scratch. If it was condensed buttons, you would have to pretty much completely change animation locks for everything. So for continuation, no, you have to Gnashing Fang, Savage Claw, Wicked Talon. You can't be like, okay, my Savage Claw is about to fall off. Okay, I'll just go back to Gnashing Fang. You can't do that. So in my opinion, this is just quality of life. This gives them more room to add more buttons, which is exactly what they're doing. You get an extra cartridge, which they did show in the job action trailer, a skill that blows two at once. That's cool, and Burst Strike no longer breaks continuation. Cool, I'll be honest, I didn't even know it did to begin with. Melee DPS, I'm gonna honestly skip over a lot of these because I don't know a whole lot. Monk, I will touch on briefly because my ult is a monk. She's only like level 51, but still. Chakras being unlocked at a low level, nice. Perfect Balance is being reworked slightly. 2 charges, stacks up to 2 times. Yeah, each charge is 45 seconds. You get 3 hits, and it builds up basically, like, I'm not sure if they actually had the proper terms, but like, basically when each time you land an attack in perfect balance, the new gauge, which they show here, I don't know if I can get still, yeah, here, every time you land a skill in perfect balance, one of these will fill based on which stance you're in, and then you execute a new skill called Masterful Blitz. When you do that, either a dark or light will light up. I think they call it like yin and yang or something similar. And when both are lit up, you get a different Masterful Blitz. Each one of these as well is its own Masterful Blitz. So basically, Monk's whole thing now is going to be build up 3, Masterful Blitz, build up these 2, Masterful Blitz for a big hit, repeat. So that's good. They also here on Discord talk about Grease Lightning Stacks being removed. I honestly don't remember this being said, but if I'm understanding this correctly, I think this just means Monk is going to be max speed the entire time from level 1, which, I mean, if that's the case, I don't think that's a big deal. I liked how it did just ease you in. You have to remember, most of the time I was leveling Monk was before the Monk rework. I have played it a bit since, and I will say I do like that you no longer have to build up your Grease Lightning. You're max speed all the time. Only issue is that you don't get the difference between the third and fourth is like, what is it, like they're almost like 20, 30 levels. But I mean, if they want to remove it, give us max speed 24/7. Sweet. True Strike and Twin Snake no longer being directional because it's going to be more busy. Okay, Shoulder Tackle is being replaced with basically ethereal manipulation. You can dash towards an ally, dash towards an enemy. Doesn't do any damage though, but I mean, it's fast, and I think it's also charged if I'm not mistaken. So that's cool. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. They actually adjusted the tanks gap closes. Warriors no longer uses gauge, and I think it has multiple charges. I think Dark Knights is got charges now. I think they extended the range as well of your ranged attacks on tanks in general, including gap closer. So that's cool. What's that? Samurai, yeah. Samurai, I fucking love Samurai. It's so fucking fun, but Jinfu and Shifu can now be applied by AoE combos. Sweet. Wasn't a huge deal because you can use your, I forget the name of the skill that lets you just use any skill you want at will. You could just do that real quick, going to AoE. I don't think that was the proper way. It was the lazy way, but I mean, you're doing dungeons, so whatever. And a new action in the vein of Ijitsu and Tsubame Gechi is being added, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think, what was the skill that lets you like repeat your last? I think it's Tsubame Gechi is getting charges, so now you can do 2 of those. That's cool. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the really big one that we see at the end of the job action trailer for Samurai. So that's cool. Not going to touch on Ninja. My Rogue is what, level 15? Don't even think of you're in a dungeon with Rogue, so yeah, Reaper. I'm not going to go over everything because I'll be honest, I don't fully understand the gauge still, even after looking at it a dozen times. I actually need to sit down and watch actual people playing and explaining it, or play it myself to fully understand the gauge. But I will say I understand this. It's hypercharge. This isn't melee machinist. This is hypercharge. You activate your thing, you get charges here, you get 5 charges. And it's rapid fire 1.5 second GCDs, just like Hypercharge. It's literally, if you like Machinist but wish it was melee, here you go. It's a melee Machinist. They show off a ton of gameplay. It's gap closer and stuff. It's cool. You can dash forward and leave a portal behind you to teleport back to, or you can do the opposite, dash backwards and then jump forward with your portal, and it gives you instant use of your ranged attack, so that's cool. They go over all the potencies and stuff. Stance change when you go into your hypercharge mode. It's cool. They showed us this before. It's cool. And they did confirm that all the races will have like a standardized look, but it's still going to be your character. So if you're playing a Lalafell, but you're also using his exact Lalafell specs, you'll look similar to this, but it's going to be your character in there. So, and obviously they're just showing everything off with the relic gear. If you have your own glamour already for Jadoon, you can use on here, which I just realized Reaper. You can't actually use the artifact Jadoon gear with Reaper, but oh my. I'm just imagining the Draken set from A Realm Reborn on Reaper. It wouldn't be bad though, honestly. I don't think it would look that bad. Go ahead, keep rambling though. Physical range DPS. My main. In case it's not obvious, I made Machinist. I didn't main Dancer at the start of Shadowbringers, but Machinist is what I always come back to, so yeah, changes here. Also, point out, shout out to this Bard. That portrait is fucking amazing. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so. Oh my goodness. Bard! Yeah, also, Wonders Minuet Battle's Voice, 122nd cooldown. Thank you. Line, I think Battle Voice was every 3 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, it aligned weird. Bard, though, each of the 3 songs will make available a new action that applies party-wide enhancement. We saw this in the trailer. Songs as well. They don't mention this here. Songs are 45 seconds. 3 songs, 125 seconds. Obviously, that's not 120 seconds, but the way I see it, that gives you 5 seconds of leeway in your rotation, so you can have a bit of flexibility. That's good. That's good. That's really fucking a change. It actually will probably fucking align. Your action available upon execution of Apex area, it just looks like a combo action. But honestly, make Bard's buffs slightly stronger. Like, not even like massively stronger, just like a percent or 2 stronger. Let the buffs apply to itself, and we're good. We're good. Honestly, I know a lot of people will be bitching about Bard. I think Bard is fine. I think Bard is fine. I think it's going to be fine from Endwalker. I can understand people's issues with it, but I think Bard is going to come out fine. Machinist. We get ranged chainsaw. Yeah, and the queen also has a new finisher on top of the previous finisher, so that's cool. Also, reassemble, getting 2 charges. I don't think this is actually going to be a massive damage boost like some people think. I was talking with some people in Discord during this. This is just quality of life. For those of you who don't know, reassemble is on a 55-second cooldown. You always want to use reassemble during single target on either drill or air anchor. Usually it's used on drill just because that's what it usually aligns with best if you do your opener. AoE, you use it on either spread shot or auto crossbow. Thing to note though, when they use reassemble in the trailer, the very next skill was either shotgun or chainsaw. So right now, me and a lot of other people are thinking spread shot when it's reassembled is going to become shotgun, and drill reassembled is going to become chainsaw. Which, I mean, that's cool. As for how the double reassemble is going to work, honestly, the way I think it's going to work is the current opener is going to remain the exact same. I think it's going to remain the exact same. The only difference is drill during your rotation is also going to be reassembled because the second one is going to be recharging while you're holding on to the current one. And it's like, well, couldn't you do that during air anchor? No, not really, because that would leave you in charge of your OGCD, and usually you want to blow as many OGCDs as you can. And if it works how I think it is, where Joel actually gets buffed and turns into a completely new skill when reassembled, then yeah, I think the second reassemble is just going to be used on your second Joe, and then you're just going to use it on cooldown on Joes every time afterwards. So that's cool. That's cool. Learn to manage. It wasn't so much managing them properly. It was so easy to sit there on it for like 15 seconds because female cooldown right after Joe went off. Oh no! Whatever. Answer, my boy. How you doing? Weapon skill effects is flourishing cascade will now be shared across single target and AoE skills. Nice. New actions will be available upon execution of technical finish, improvisation, and devilment. In the trailer, it mostly looked like this was buffs. There was two new offensive skills that were showing off. They look really cool. They look like big AoEs. Technical finish, people are thinking it might be an instant use standard step, which, if that's true, I could see the opener for Dancer changing a ton. Possibly. Maybe. It would be interesting to see. Improvisation, people are thinking it might be a big heal, which would make sense. My question is, does improv just give 10 Esprit while it's channeling, or does it not give any anymore? Because they talk about it down here. Esprit is guaranteed to build when you land your skills. Did it show anyone else that the dancer was partnered to using skills, but every time the dancer used a GCD, one at standard 4 GCDs, it gained Esprit. It gained 10 Esprit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Esprit generation is just based on GCDs now, which obviously it takes out some of the proc-based nature, but Dancer has so many goddamn procs, I don't think removing a couple is going to be too bad for it. The main thing about Barcelona adjustment, people just need to calm the fuck down. God is going to be fine, just hush. Magic ranged. Yeah, I'm not going to touch on Black Mage. I'm not even making this up. I'm probably one of the worst black mages in existence. I'm next. Red mage. Black and white mana has definitely been adjusted hugely. It's going to cost less. I think they said the full melee combo is going to be 50 of each now instead of 80. So that gives you a ton of leeway, extra room if you have to save it for some odd reason. Magnification is also being adjusted, so it just gives you a flat 50-50. It's no longer double. I think, Embolden's going to still be 120-second recast. Magnification is going to be 110. Idea seems to be you always will have Magnification up before Embolden. Other job adjustments, mana gain skills are going to be... Your spells will not generate as much mana as before to make the fact you're now only going to need 50. But they did say that you will still see more melee combos coming out of the average red mage. It's not going to be a ton more, but it will be slightly noticeable. And then displacement and engagement potencies, now the same. Otherwise, Scorch has a new finisher after it. Burst Flare, Hurley, and Scorch as well are going to be AoE, and you now get party-wide enhancement. It looks like something with damage reduction and shield, based on the trailer. Summoner! Yeah! It's completely new. It's completely new. So, yeah. Also, you have Resurrection and Isaac. It's Isaac is going to remain. Hopefully, they actually make it scale because it doesn't scale. It doesn't scale with stats. That's cool. Resurrection, they basically said it's only there because they realized people would miss it if they removed it. And Isaac is. I'm honestly not sure that's still. But the way it works now is you summon Bahamut, you get 3 jewels. These jewels apply to Titan if you're in Garuda. When Bahamut goes away, you can then summon them. Carbuncle will have to be out, and Carbuncle doesn't seem to do much. And I keep saying Carbuncle, the current parameters for your edgies still exist. So you can make your Carbuncle any of the colors that are currently exist, or you can make it Garuda, Titan, or Ifrit edgy. But yeah, you summon them, and then some of your skills will change element based on that, and they each have different properties. I think they said Garuda is basically hypercharged now. It's just really rapid fire fast. Titan has instant cast but normal GCD, and then Ifrit is really slow but really hard hitting. Idea seems to be you summon Bahamut, you go through Bahamut, you go through each of the summons individually, which they said you can use them in any order, so that's going to probably change a ton based on fight. You go through them. By the time you get through them all with some filler in between, you should be able to summon Phoenix. You go through all the summons again, and then you repeat back from Bahamut. So you're an actual summoner now. That's cool. They go over all the skills and the translation down below. Healers! Yeah! Healers, I think a lot of people should be happy with how healers are going if they understand this right. New actions apply single target buff speed to all the healers. Nice. Test times for offensive spells are being reduced. Every single GCD spell now for healers can work like Astrology, where it's just 1.5 second cast time on your whatever long GCD. So you should be able to single weave OGCDs, which everybody's bitching about Summoner's performance. Dude, if they don't change energy drain, it just got a colossal damage buff. Like, holy, if they do not change energy drain from Shadowbringers to Endwalker, I am going to be fucking amazed. Because now you're not stuck to using it with Ruin 2, you can now use it with Broil or your heals. That is such a massive buff if they don't change it. It's insane. Also, healer limit break. 50 meters. They doubled the goddamn size. So, yeah, White Mage. Also, before I talk about this, one thing they mentioned here, don't put on the Discord. I'm not sure why they did this. They did talk about White Mage's Holy losing the stun. However, they realized people like that stun. So what they did instead is they gave all of the classes an offensive GCD that had a secondary defensive style effect. So pretty much every class is going to have some form of holy. It might not be a stun, but yeah, effectively everyone is going to have some different flavor of holy now. But which means, yeah, you get a new totem thing. Not sure how it works, but it's cool. It has more mobility because of the GCD change, and no more Fluidor. Divine. White Mage? I don't think it's supposed to be venison. Astrology, this is one I'm interested in. But yeah, your sex, they don't exist. Everything is being tuned to now be diurnal. They did say though, neutral sex will still remain. Neutral sex is still a thing, and it will give you the same effect it did before. So if you want to shield heal as Astrologian, you're gonna be heavily limited now. You have to use neutral sex, which is limited unless they do a massive rework of it. Divination is changed, and the skills are used for new enhancements applied to self. Astrologian was really hard to follow in the trailer, but basically the big thing with it is that the minor arcana no longer replace your cards. They appear to actually now be AoE based, so Astrologian gains some of its AoE potential back. I don't think they're going to change the base function of the card, but maybe allowing them to be used for different things other than just damage spells would be nice. I know people want old Astrologian back. My answer to that is just, please no. They changed it because everybody either wanted Spear or Balance, or if you were a dickhead, you'd go for Arrow and fuck over the Machinist. That's coming from personal experience. Fuck Arrow. Oh my god. But yeah, half the cards you wouldn't even use. Yeah, there's a damage reduction one. Cool. Sure, you could get more NP or TP regen. Nice. Most of the time, you were going for Balance or Spear to actually use the card. If you wanted to do some AoE stuff, obviously you went with different cards. Still, yeah. Current card system, I think, is fine. If you want to evolve it a bit to allow more use of the cards, I'm fine. Just please don't go back to Stormblood. Stormblood was fine. I still personally like the Shadowbringers version more. Redraw as well, by the way. It's no longer going to be charged, but every time you use draw, you can use redraw once. So yeah, and new AoE spell, which has a healing capability and offensive element, because apparently Earthly Star wasn't enough. We need something else. Cool. Scarlet. Everybody's bitching about Scarlet. Yeah. You can now run faster in combat with an in-combat Peloton. Apparently, it does also have damage reduction on it, so that's cool. More powerful single target party member buff. Yeah, people are pissed. First, I don't think Scarlet's good. I don't think Scarlet's good. Obviously, we have to wait for, I think they confirmed October 13th is when Media Tour NDAs end. I don't think Scarlet is going to be dead, but that said, it definitely didn't have a great showing. I will repeat what I said earlier, though. If they do not change how Energy Drain works right now, it got a massive fucking damage buff going into Endwalker. It got a massive damage buff. Sage! I'm a Sage main now. I was already planning to play Sage solely for the aesthetic of it, but actually seeing it in action, holy shit, it's pretty much it's what I wanted. It's effectively an offensive healer. What more do you fucking want? But yeah, basically how it works, you pick a dance partner essentially, right? Every time you use an offensive skill, you heal your partner for a little bit. It's not a ton. I think it's probably going to end up being comparable to the fairy on Scholar, but like, you heal people by dealing damage. We finally have a class that lets us bitch at people who refuse to use offensive skills on healers. Oh, yes, oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not even joking. It's actually, I can understand if you're a new player, but oh my god, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. Maybe I'm being a toxic asshole. Probably. I've dealt with a lot of stupid shit leveling, but yeah, Sage can heal by dealing damage. And the gauge is a good gauge. You have, what was it? I think it's a 1 second GCD, which if it is, if I'm not mistaken about that, and it is a GCD, it's the fastest GCD in the game, just by far. But 1 second instant cast. You get this. What does this do? It changes most of your GCD skills to be enhanced in some way. The single target damage skill, when it's enhanced, becomes a dot. Your single target heal, no, your heals in general, your GCD heals in general, when this is up, lose a little bit of heal potency, but they now grant a shield. And if I'm not mistaken, they have a skill that lets them convert shields into direct heals. The damage itself, this just builds over time, even out of combat. So this is going to be really weird for raiding. Every time it fills, you get one of these. You use these on special skills. These are basically Azaflow. Don't know what these do. They didn't discuss it. They didn't really show it off in the trailer. These, though, I think are just way more powerful versions of these that are harder to get. I could be mistaken on that. And after that they go into battle adjustments, and yeah, so we end with Sage and just, yeah, it's good. It's really flipping good. 28 minutes, so we're under half an hour. Holy shit. The dog is not impressed by that. Okay, I'm gonna end it here though. So that's actually going to half an hour, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would be appreciated. And yeah, I can't wait till October 13th when NDA's left so we can actually see all this stuff for real. So yeah, it's coming. Endwalker's coming. Get hyped. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.